you lost it?
I lost it, but okay, I did lose it. It was played in the Isle of Man, which was a long event.
Yes, is that? And apparently, computer likes white's position. Rook to b1, rook to b3, king g1. King g1 is the first independent move you've played. Oh, rather, the amount they played against you, knight f5, right?
This is like the first time this has ever happened to me in my commentary history, where the players have been following my own game.
And not random players, the world champion.
The world champion, I know. I mean, it's a bit unfortunate that they're following one of my losses. I mean, this is typical. Whenever I get a game published in a book, it's my loss. It doesn't matter. It's my name. Ediz Gurel, just 16 years old. He's one of these young Turks. You know, there's bright things ahead for him. Domush, just 14 years old, will be coming to his game as well. But I remember this game as being very, very tense. And knight to f5. Is this?
That's the position after black just played knight to b6. And apparently computer, maybe not the strongest computer in the world, but anyway, the one we have in the studio, it likes white, despite black being a pawn up. Am I correct on this? Yeah, black is pawn up. Always have to do a bit of math. So I imagine even though the kings are castled opposite sides, there's not a lot of attacks on the king goes on. Because white's knight on f5 is perfectly placed and kind of guards g3, well, guards everything, pretty much stops black from having any prospects on the king side. But same can be said about the b6 knight, right? So knight on b6 can go to c4, and it's not clear, at least not clear yet, how white is supposed to develop the king side, the queen side, where black king is, initiative. King g2 is what computer wants, understandably, to free the rook.
But what Gukesh is doing, I think, is very pertinent to get that bishop, because I recall in my game, I was just doing some nonsense with the king, trying to tuck it on a8 with ideas and dreams of going c5, but that was not the best idea. So I think bishop to c7, despite the engine saying that it's better.
Over here, bishop c7, g3, knight b6.
Knight to b6. I mean, the big problem here for black, I would say, is what next? And this was something that I struggled with in the game.
Right, and I believe capturing a So he's still he's not very experienced in this type of things.
But they often say about how luck doesn't influence the game at all, but I strongly disagree with that sentiment, because going through the opening, Gukesh had a very crazy position, he took the advantage, and then it was playing a natural move that cost him absolutely everything, and everything just completely flipped on his head.
Yeah.
And that's where I think that luck comes in. That you can do everything right and then just make one big mistake, the most natural looking move in the position.
Right, and again, sometimes it would be your opponent's achievement, sort of, to bait you to play into the to play the most natural move. But there, it wasn't. It was just a messy, messy position. It just happened to be so that the move that kind of makes sense and everything all of a sudden happens to be a losing one.
Yeah.
By the way, the move played by Gukesh, rook g7, apparently gives white a big advantage after bishop d6, and then the point being, again, Compi wants to go bishop b6, king b7, bishop goes to f4, and then there's no good square for this rook. If you leave the d file, I imagine bishop e5 is very painful. At the rook's attack, pawn's attack, if you go rook d7, and then white of course pushes g6, and these pawns, despite being far advanced, they can't move further. Okay, you can go c2, but then white goes, well, not even g7, but rook f7, and this is it.
Yeah.
So rook g7, Ediz Gurel has to find bishop d6, and he'll be in a commanding position against the world champion.
And the bad news for the world champion.
And he's reaching for the bishop.
He puts it on d6.
And it was enough for him to reach for the bishop, now that I understand, because the other move, bishop f8, was also quite strong. Bishop d6 is the strongest move in the position, but bishop f8 would have been strong as well.
The main thing was really just to transfer the bishop to that diagonal.
Right, so there is that. So that's one of the few games in the top.
There are a few games remaining in the women's section.
Let's check.
One from Tan Zhongyi with the black pieces against Dinara Wagner.
Something has happened. So Bibisara Sabayeva won against Irina Bulmaga. Because remember, it was this endgame, 3 pawns versus 2, knight each, rook each.
Yeah.
And Bibisara has converted this endgame. So the game we have in progress from top 10 is Wagner against Tan Zhongyi. Right. And Tan Zhongyi, I thought at some point she was completely